Hello, all you happy Crumpin' Wargamers. I am super thrilled to have everyone here today. It is the release of the Golden Boys, and you know I love the Golden Boys. That sounded weird, but I'm ready to crump, and we have our good friend Felix with us, aka Cooper, aka the Swede. Cooper, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing very well. I'm currently studying as well for my exam, but got some good sweet relief 40k rules to look over to calm my nerves.
Felix is my Gen Z friend, keeping me hip. Anyway, all right, so let's look at these new Custodes. I've been pretty happy so far with most of the rules. I do not believe at all that this is going to be a less lethal edition. I think that is a complete uh,
Uh,
lie. But
They've shown a lot of rerolls and stuff.
there's a lot of rerolls, armor and stuff. But let's just go
Yeah.
through some. What do we have for today? Faction rules. Every custodian's close. All right, we can skip that. Martial kata. All right, so we are keeping the kata system. Have you read through this yet, Felix?
I've read through the army rule and attachment rules.
Okay.
I'll let you read it.
All right, cool. Let's read this and then we'll kind of talk about it for a moment. At the start of the fight phase, select one kata stance from the list below to be active for your army until the end of the phase. Okay, so it's the katas are only active during the fight phase. While the stance is active for your army, each unit from your army with this ability gets it. So it's very similar to how it is now. It's just it's only active for the fight phase.
Well, both fight phases. That's the
Right,
key
right.
part
But
here.
fight phase though. But so
Yes.
not it's not going to be active during shooting or anything like that. Okay. So Captara stance. Subtract one from the hit roll. All right. So that is a nerf because currently Captaris. No, that's not. It's because currently Captaris just means that it turns off rerolls to hit. So maybe it's a little bit of a nerf. Maybe it's a who knows. It just kind of depends on what you're going into. It's probably like a side grade. Dakatari stance. Melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have Oh,
Exploding
okay.
sixes.
Okay, so custodians are going to get exploding sixes in melee. That is listen, anyone who says this edition is going to be less lethal is full of shit. Right? And then Rendax. Melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have lethal hits. And lethal is auto wounds, right?
Outer ones, yeah.
Oh my gosh, get out of here, dude.
I love this this army rule. I think it's super strong.
All right, so Custodes, and this is cool because one of the things I love about Custodes is they are a melee army. I know people have been running them with the Helverins and other shooting type support, but
Yeah.
they are at
We've
their
seen
core a short range
Sagitarum
army.
spam as well,
Say that one
doing
more time.
well. Sagitarum spam we've seen as well, doing
Sagi
quite
spam,
well.
yeah, yep, that's definitely a real thing. But I mean, at its core, Custodes is a short to mid range army,
Oh,
and
for sure.
this is really supporting that. So I'm a really big fan of
Uh,
that. And it kind of looks like we'll be able to choose this each turn.
yes, for each fight phase, which I think is super strong just because you can adapt to every situation. So say you're playing against orcs and suddenly they get a huge warg turn or something and gets everything into melee. And they'll be fighting first because maybe you don't have fight first a lot, and then you just say, nah, -1 to hit.
Dude, that is so real. Yeah, so this is going to be okay, man. Oh, that is a very strong ability. Okay.
Yeah, just
Let's
because
look.
you can adapt to every fight phase, that's the huge part.
Yeah, because as it is right now, you have to plan on what turn you're going to need your stance for, which it's still good. I'm not complaining about it, obviously. But you have to plan, and if you guess wrong, you can waste your stance. So this is very, very cool. Let's move on into this detachment rule. So this is for the Aegis of the Emperor detachment. Models from your army have a feel no pain of 4 up against mortal wounds. All right, so that's really similar to what we see right now in Emperor's Chosen, which is the most common way to run Custodes. I certainly don't think it's a bad way, but I also don't think it's the best way to run them. But it's feel no pain 4 up against mortal wounds is real dang good, and that can work quite well, especially with all the devastating wounds that we're seeing, right?
Especially as an index detachment as well, the
Yeah.
first one that you're forced to. So if we see too many mortals, Custodes can be fine, not just be like the what is Hercules healer.
Yeah, and I one of the things that people are talking about a lot is how much of the devastating wounds we're seeing. Like there are going to be a lot of mortals that are coming out, and yeah, I think that can be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Because we
it's
haven't
solid.
seen any real mortal wound defense yet, so I think this is the first time we're seeing mortal wound defense that's really in the game, right?
Yeah, I think as far as I can remember, yeah.
So that's cool. All right. So as of right now, they smack in melee and they have some reasonable defense against some different
Yeah.
things. All right, let's look at
So
Mr.
far, I haven't seen too many Mortis wounds, though. I haven't seen too many of
Well,
them.
we've seen devastating wounds all the time, like on every
Sure,
other weapon, which is mortal wounds.
we'll see how many, with rerolls and how many they can generate. It's gonna be interesting to see.
And with the anti-vehicle keyword stacking with mortal wound
Oh
or
yeah,
with devastating, I think we actually have probably seen quite a bit, and we just haven't recognized it yet.
could be.
Um,
Yeah, could be.
let's look at Mr. Trajan here. So Trajan is the beat stick. He is the king banana, and we love him. Movement of 6, T6. Okay, so he goes up in toughness a little bit. That's fair, because Custodes should be tough, and if everything in the game is
Yeah.
going up toughness, they should go up a little bit as well. A save of a 2 up, that's tracks. Wounds 7, so he actually loses a wound. Leadership 5 up. See, all right, so Custodes are getting a nerf in the leadership department. So dropping to a
I'd say
5 up is actually a nerf for them because their base leadership is 11 currently. And it's easier to to roll under a 5 to fail a leadership test than it would be to roll over an 11 to fail a leadership test. So
yeah.
that's a nerf for them.
Let's see, what are the odds of rolling like that?
Can you say that again?
The odds of failing a 5-up leadership shouldn't be too high.
No. I wonder what that. Watcher's Axe. So everything. So his melee is essentially the same. It's just -1 AP, which tracks with the rest of the game as well. All right. His abilities: Deep Strike, Feel No Pain, and a leader. Captain General. While this model is leading a unit, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the characteristics of models in that unit, and/or any roll or test made for models in that unit, excluding modifiers to saving throws. Okay, so you can ignore any minuses to hit, any minuses to wound. Um, right? While this unit is model
Let's see.
leading, and to any roll or test made for models in that unit.
What unit?
Yeah, that
Oh,
just
that's
means that you ignore modifiers to hit and wound. Is that right?
it's worded a bit weird.
That is worded a
Let's
little
see.
bit weird. That's why I think I kind of stumbled
Any
over over my words a
roll
little bit there.
modifiers. So modifiers to characteristics of models. So that
Yeah.
would be strength and toughness. No,
Oh,
not
so
strength.
say you were
Yeah.
in contagion range of the Death
No,
Guardian,
not
you
even
can use
strength. Yeah, it's gonna be toughness. Yeah,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
because strength and AP and everything like that, that's on weapons now, not on the characteristics of the
Exactly.
model.
So that's yeah, okay.
I think. Oh, it's worded so badly though.
Or to any roll or test made for models. So that would count for hit rolls because it says roll or test made for the model. That would still count for like your hit rolls with your weapons and stuff.
So big thing here is because we saw the Chaos Knights yesterday. No modifiers to test rolls, so -1 to leadership and stuff. Because the Chaos Knights have a lot of that stuff.
Oh, that's actually true. Yep, that's cool. Yep, that's a good point.
It's a really good ability, but not modifiers to saving throws. Okay.
All right. And then we've got the Moment's Shackle. Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, you can select one of the following effects to take effect until the end of the phase. All right, so the weapon has an attack characters of 12, which is actually kind of an upgrade from what he can currently do because he can currently fight twice. But a lot of times, but the way it's worded right now is you have to fight at the end of the combat phase for your second
Hmm.
round. So sometimes you can fight, then your opponent has the chance to kill you before you fight twice. So if you just know you have to kill, okay, that's kind of cool. This model gets a 2-up invulnerable save. So I'm not sure if that's better because right now the way it's worded is you can take one failed save and blank the damage. So even if
I
you get
don't.
hit by a Tal railgun, just no damage is taken.
Yeah, no, I don't like the. To be fair though, we haven't seen anything that ignores symbol saves now, but I'm not a big fan of that. It seems strong at first sight, but
It does seem pretty
because he's a
strong.
leader, and it's just him, not the unit getting the 2-up.
Yeah.
Not sure how often you're going to use it, and if you use it, then the unit is already dead, and that might
Can
be
you?
like turn
Yeah,
3.
because you can't choose to take saves on the leader, right?
No, he's going to be the last one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because if you could choose to take saves on the leader instead of the unit, then that'd be unbelievably good.
So we're going to hope also for most custodians to go up to T6. Otherwise, the T6 of Trajan doesn't really matter because you wound against the unit, not the
That's true.
leader.
Yep.
But the final one here, that's the one I love.
Models, not him. Models in the unit gets fight first. That is very strong. Yep. I like that a lot. So
Yeah,
I would
especially
say
with the new combat system.
yes,
Because
because there's no more fight last, right? So it's just now fights first or fights normal. I would say that moment shackle is probably an upgrade for him. And then the Captain General thing is probably a little bit of a downgrade because he loses his reroll aura that he was giving to everyone.
Yeah, maybe I would definitely. The moment check on definitely looking at the fight first ability
Yep.
because with the new combat system, if people aren't aware, alternating now doesn't matter if it's fight normal, fight first. The alternation is always starting with the inactive player.
Oh,
So
that's
even if
true. So
yeah,
you could activate them first on the charge phase. That's
so if you get
super good.
charged, you activate fight first. And suddenly you're fighting first before the opponent. That's a super good defensive ability.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a
Yeah,
good
no,
point.
like that's why I'm looking at. I don't want to do 12 attacks. I don't want to do 2 up invul. I want to fight before you fight, and
Yeah.
that's for an entire unit. Because it basically makes them not unchargeable, but almost depends on how well the melee is for the unit. But it's super good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's look at these Alaris Custodians. These are our Terminators for the Banana Boys. We are, toughness 7 on these Terminators. Okay, they are tanky boys. 4
Holy shit!
wounds to save, objective control of 2. 5-inch movement, so they lose movement, so they actually do get slower, but they get. I mean, I would think they're a lot tougher. I don't actually know if they're a lot tougher because we're not sure on how it goes for everything, but they look significantly tougher.
Toughness 7 is big.
That
Because if we're looking
seems
at
big.
weapons now, most like infantry and normal units have strength between 4 and 6 mostly. There's not a lot of strength 7. And once you're actually getting up to that strength, like Multimelta, strength 9, this is kind of where I think Multimelta will be able to shine against units like this heavy Terminators.
Yep. Yeah, but that's pretty tough. That's cool. Bless's grenade launcher is now D6 attacks instead of D3. It's strength 4 instead of strength 5, AP 1 instead of AP 3, so that's a downgrade. The axes and the spears, those are exactly the same for shooting.
Hmm.
Only they're assault instead of rapid fire, which is cool.
Hmm.
And then we have melee weapons. The axe is going to be 4 attacks. The spear is 5 attacks. Weapon skill 3 up. Strength 9, AP 1, damage 3. Oh, okay. So
That's
Custodes are getting
interesting.
access to damage 3. That's kind
But
of big.
but AP1 Terminators saving on 3 up.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
you're not.
know.
That's okay.
It's a good choice between axes and spears now, I think. But
Yeah.
the AP1 damage 3 is strength 9. Oh, it's a weird profile.
That's an actual difference, though, that makes you have to make that decision.
I love this. We're seeing this across faction focuses.
Yep.
The weapon choices are made for different things. It's not like, which one is best
Clearly better.
almost always. It's
For
like
sure.
this one is better versus this one is better versus that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I am a huge, huge fan of this. And then
It's great
and they're
design.
keeping the Misericordia, so that's cool.
Oh, no, hold up. I don't see the extra tax on Misericordia. But this is weird.
That is kind of bizarre, isn't it? Because
Also,
like,
oh
why
no, they're changing Misericordia. It's going to be an actual melee weapon now that you can choose.
why would you ever choose the Misericordia over the Guardian Spear?
Uh, my guess is point costs.
My guess is that is like a misprint. To be honest with you.
Might be because currently, with how the new melee system works, a model can choose one melee weapon to attack with.
Yeah.
Only time you can choose another one is if it says extra attacks.
Either that or there's going to be like a army special rule that they all can make an additional attack with the Misericordia, so they just didn't bother printing the extra.
Yeah, but then
We'll
the
see.
Misericordia says 5 attacks.
Yeah,
So
but so
weird.
does the Guardian Spear.
Yeah, that's what. I don't understand the Misericordia right now.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to learn more about that. As of right now, that looks really dumb. So,
Yeah.
all right. So they start with
But
Loop Strike, and they have the Martial Kata keyword. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets a character, monster, or vehicle, you can re-roll the. Okay, so now there's a purpose for our Terminators. The Custodes, guys, we have a purpose to use our Custodes now. It's not just score behind enemy
nice.
lines; they will mess units up. Okay,
I
let's
see the
go.
Guardian Spear right now with that. If you want to go
Yeah,
character,
that
just
is
versus characters as well.
Man,
But
okay. I might have to get some more freaking Terminators. I only have 3 of them, so I might have to start running more.
that ability is really good. It gives them a purpose. So this is how they will be. Because I think, I'm not sure if it was you and me, but I've had a conversation about Custodes not being a lot of anti-vehicle or like anti-knight weapons.
Hmm.
This is it. This is how we
Oh,
deal with
oh,
Chaos Knights.
oh, Felix, hold on. This is the strongest thing. Ready from Golden Light. Everyone, this is stupid. Once per battle, at the end of your opponent's turn, if this unit is not within engagement of your opponent, you can remove it from the battlefield and at reinforcement steps of your next movement phase set up anywhere. Okay, never mind. Not quite as good as I was
Oh,
thinking. I was thinking you
oh,
could
you were
pick it up.
thinking movement.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that what I was originally thinking, actually, I was thinking that you could pick it up and then put it somewhere in your turn, and so you could score an objective that you weren't holding.
To be fair, you can do this
Yeah.
like turn one still, and it could be something
Yep.
we do with Votan a bit, which is teleport like turn 4 and 5 to score some final points.
Yeah, still super freaking good.
Yeah,
Still
like you'll take
super
it.
good. Yeah, I'll take it. That's a still all right. So these guys have a purpose now. I love it.
Oh,
They didn't have a
that's War
purpose
Gear.
previously. Oh yeah,
Look at the
and
War
had
Gear.
one of the objective control characteristics. I like that too.
Ooh,
Make them OC3.
OC3. That's beautiful.
All right, so these guys are good. These guys are back. I love it because currently in Custodes, the only purpose of these guys is to score behind main
Oh
line
my
with a
god,
single.
we're getting a third datasheet.
The prosecutors, look at that. Look at these little girls peeking out. Okay, okay, okay.
Huh.
All right, movement 6, so they're slower. Toughness 3, save 3, 1 wound, leadership 6, objective control 2. They have a bolt
Hmm.
gun and a close combat weapon, which is nothing. Now, Daughters of the Abyss, they have a feel no pain 3 up against psychic attacks. Okay, that is a
It's
downgrade.
decent. It's
Downgrade.
psych attacks, like
Super
sure,
downgrade.
but maybe
No, no,
because
no. Like
the
100% downgrade because they couldn't even be affected by psychic abilities previously.
sure, but now,
And then each time a monster
yeah,
has to
no, that's
face a
true.
ranged target that's attacks a psyker, they get precision and
Oh,
devastating wounds.
oh, that's good.
That is kind of
Oh, wait,
okay. I'll accept that. But like, they lost their aura of -1 to cast. They lost their immunity to psychic spells, so they can no longer string smites. They're slower.
I do
Um,
see a purpose though.
yeah, I mean, I could see it. I could see it. I'm not saying that they're useless, but it looks like a downgrade. But we'll see when points cost come out as well.
Sure,
And
still probably gonna be used like stuff against stuff like a weird boy, probably.
yeah, I mean, having precision could be very, very useful. That's for sure. Let's go to
If
these
you
weapon
get,
spotlights. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had something?
no, no, I mean, if you get the chance to remove like the jump,
Yeah,
because right now the weird boys can be protected, but we don't know what he attaches to, but we can assume boys. Boys is probably gonna be one of the units.
sure.
And if you can remove the jump before that goes off, because the weird boy is still not, I think it's a 5-up save on it, yeah. And just getting the devastating wounds on that as well.
Could be okay. I mean, it's only a rapid fire 1 bolt gun with no AP, but I mean,
Yeah.
still, it could be okay.
Fixes do 1 mortal. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it feels, first sight, it kind of feels like the 8th edition death marks of Necrons, where, it's a sniper ability, but it doesn't kill characters.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at this, girl. All right. So this looks pretty exciting to me. So currently, what a Vigilator is a Sister of Silence who has a great sword that's going to be Strength 5, Damage 2 in Custodes. Why would you ever take that when you could just take a Custodian Guard? They're basically useless. There's no point in it. However, now these girls are running around with the Executioner Greatblade, which is going to be anti-psyker 4 up and devastating wounds.
Oh,
So basically, Grey Knights and Thousand Suns.
this is what we're looking at. Oh.
So actually, I love this because no, it's not as good as a Custodian Guard, and you probably would never take it over Custodian Guard, but they serve a specific purpose. This is what I've been waiting for. In 10th edition, I'm so excited because it's looking like we're getting our individual units are serving a purpose. Like there's a reason for them to exist.
So that weapon, Executioner Greatblade, versus Psychics, it should average 2 mortal wounds.
Yeah, so every time they roll a 4 to wound, it's going to count as a mortal.
No, 2 mortals.
Yeah, right. The damage turns into mortal.
I guess, yeah.
That's great.
Well, it's pretty good, yeah. And it's a decent profile as well, even if you don't get the mortals, strength 5
Yeah,
minus 2 damage.
exactly. So I mean, but serving a purpose is so powerful. Yeah, happy with that. And then we move on into our stratagem spotlight. Vigil Unending, Epic Deed. In your command phase, 1 Adeptus Custodes, choose a unit from your army, not a Sister of Silence. One destroyed model is returned.
This is strong.
What?
This is strong. Holy shit.
So I can just resurrect a Custodes infantry model?
The movement you get from this. Holy
The
crap.
movement you get from this. Oh my God. Okay. All right.
One CP
Custodes
as
are
well.
looking spicy, everyone. Custodes are looking spicy. One custodian guard is such a big deal, or now one Terminator is such a big deal that if you can return one,
It's just, it's a good restriction though, just once per unit per
yeah,
battle.
it's
But
exactly that's a great restriction. If you didn't have that, that'd be broken.
oh yeah, it's still really good to get like about 3.5 inches of free movement.
3.5 inches of free movement, stealing an
Could,
objective with extra OC3.
exactly, yeah.
Oh man, that's
It's a
that is
great
a
strategy.
beautiful stratagem.
I can't complain about anything on this actually. It doesn't
This
seem broken though. It seems strong, but not broken.
this was cool. I'm very happy with this.
Sort of the idea to tackle custodians now will be in shooting. You don't want to melee against them.
Yeah, which is true for right now as well. I mean, there's not
Oh, for
honestly,
sure.
it's not that different to be honest with you.
Oh, it's a depends on what Trajan can lead. He could get a huge brick of something unkillable in fighting, and some fighting armies. This will definitely be a what do we call it? Gatekeeper army, I think. Might be even better than that, but it's going to gatekeep some melee armies, I think.
Well, they have a lot of utility now. There's a lot of things that they can do that they couldn't do before. That ability to just redeploy your Terminators, that's unbelievably
Very
strong
good
for
value.
them.
We also
Um,
have to see the point value, of course, because
yeah,
there
obviously.
is a risk about with going from toughness 5 to 7.
Yep.
There might be some point hikes.
But that's the thing right now, because currently a Terminator is 10 points more than a normal Custodian Guard, but those 10 points don't get you anything.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't care if they were 20 points more than a Custodian Guard, but those 20 points got you something, right?
yeah, they're serving a true purpose now instead
Yeah,
of behind enemy lines.
exactly. Which don't get me wrong, behind lines is good. I'm not saying it's not, but speaking as an orc player who exclusively plays behind enemy lines.
It's not the same.
Yeah. All right, so this was cool, man. Thanks for hopping on. I'm
Yeah,
actually really excited about this overall. I don't really see anything I hate.
no, it all looks good, but I don't really think I see anything broken either.
No, I mean, the lack of rerolls from Trajan is interesting. He lost a wound also, which is interesting.
Yeah, but he's becoming a leader, so he's
Yeah,
really harder to kill. So
yeah. So overall, I think I'm good, man. And
I think it's
honestly,
fine.
I am convinced we're going to see Constantine Valdor coming back in tech. So maybe that's where our
Yeah,
big dude comes from.
yeah. Trajan having a 5 up feel of pain just flat as well. That's great.
Well, he already has that.
Yeah, but I didn't think he'd keep it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Being a leader, that's good.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off. Felix and I are actually going to be on again tomorrow, and we're going to do orcs. And we'll probably be a little bit louder and rowdier then because those are the orcs. But for right
Yeah,
now, we're excited for these shiny, shiny gentlemen and those super quiet Sisters of Silence who are also very shiny. And thanks, everyone. Happy crumping, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers.